thanks all for attending this session. So my name is Craig Stewart, CTO at SnapLogic. You may have seen many of you, or many of you who may have seen me doing the keynote earlier. I'm very pleased to have you join us today. I'm joined today by Jyotsna Sharma, who is, as it says here, the VP of Data Architecture of Global Technology at T. Rowe Price. Very pleased to have Jyotsna join us to share some of her experience of using SnapLogic and part of their digital transformation journey at T. Rowe Price. Before we start there, I'm just going to take a moment to set the scene a little. You know, every company that is out there and trying to evolve in this day and age is trying to achieve the value that can be delivered by these key things that we have going on in the environment. And that's, you know, being able to increase the agility to be able to deal with the disruptions that are going on. But you know, all of these things, you know, digital transformation has proved to be a double-edged sword and has turned into, for many companies, a multi-year project. And adopting cloud technologies still face a challenge in operationalizing the digital transformation and reaping the benefits that can be and should be realized from it. And you know, that's come about, you know, as we've seen from that Vanson Bourne questionnaire that we had, where we were surveying various business users across the globe. You know, companies are dealing with, you know, hundreds of applications now, and the complexities that come as a result of that, you know, especially as we're dealing with the cloud, and you know, applications are being adopted with, you know, data silos being generated across the enterprise, and trying to avoid that and trying to get the value that we can reap out of these applications and technologies it requires some a new approach, and you know, as we've seen, a new platform that enables them to actually get there. Now, enough from me. What I'd like to do is hand it over to Jyotsna, who's going to take you through a little bit of the digital transformation journey that she's undertaken at T. Rowe Price. Jyotsna.
All right. Thank you, Craig, for your introduction, and I'm delighted to be here and appreciate the opportunity to speak about T. Rowe Price's journey and digital transformation and automation. Next slide, please. Thank you. A little bit about T. Rowe Price, headquartered in Baltimore, Maryland. T. Rowe Price is a publicly traded global investment management firm. It was founded in 1937 by Thomas Rowe Price Jr., and hence the name. With worldwide offices in over 16 countries, T. Rowe Price is currently managing over $1 trillion in assets for individuals, financial intermediaries, and institutions. Moving on to the next slide, a little bit about myself. I am a data and analytics professional with over 20 years of experience cross-industry experience in enterprise strategy, architecture, information management, master data management, business intelligence, and analytics. So everything to do with data and analytics. At T. Rowe Price, I am currently leading the data architecture competency for global distribution and marketing services to drive a digital transformation, cloud transition, and data modernization efforts. And I'm a lifelong data enthusiast and a data advocate, live, breathe, love data, and strongly believe in the power of data to transform. Moving on to the next slide, please. So a little bit about the business drivers and why we have been looking for enterprise automation. It is this journey of ours. So T. Rowe Price has been in the digital transformation and cloud journey for the last 4 years or so. So as part of this journey within the within the global distribution and marketing services, one of the business goals, and I would say, one of the many goals and objectives has been to provide an omnichannel experience for customers, personalize and activate the next best interaction or the next best action or the next best service in real time that truly delights our customers. And so how do we really achieve that? Well, in order to enable real-time personalization and activation, first and foremost, you need to know your customer well, their likes, dislikes, their journey and experience traversing through your digital channels, all their touch points, their interactions with you, all their transactions. So pretty much what we are talking about is a unified 360-degree view of your customer. And building this customer 360 view in turn means you need all the data about your customer, which is living in a plethora of applications that are on-prem, on cloud, on your SaaS platforms. You have data coming in from external sources. And not just that, it's coming in umpteen formats. So how do you harmonize and link the data to make it actionable in real time? And I think either Craig or one of the speakers mentioned today that the average number of applications in an organization today is more than 120. And when you think about integrating data from 120 applications, let's not go there. Let's say just even 10 or 20 applications in an automated and real-time, cost-efficient manner. It is easier said than done. So when we were challenged to bring the business processes and data together, our first call of action was to leverage what we have. We used cloud-native solutions, custom coding. We used try to stretch the functionalities of our existing integration platform. And what we realized was that while these solutions worked, but the overall process was not scalable. The level of integration was high, and the time to value realization was not as optimal as we would like it to be. And hence, the need for the easy button. So is there a more intuitive, performant, automated way of harmonizing that data between all our on-cloud, on-prem, SaaS platforms to really accelerate our digital journey? So that's the backdrop. And moving on to the next slide. So what were some of our key considerations for platform selection? I think some of these points, I did touch on these. One was to accelerate our digital transformation, right? Help us build innovative, reusable solutions and components that are based on repeatable patterns. We build once and reuse it for multiple data feeds or multiple processes, and that would help us enable continuous delivery and speed to value realization. Like I said earlier, we are currently in the middle of our cloud transition journey, and with a hybrid architecture, partly on-prem, partly on cloud, legacy systems, it was critical for us to have, seamless and rather painless integration between all these systems. And then the need to have a modern integration platform, right? Software as a solution that is highly scalable, flexible, available, and more importantly, it complements our cloud-based architecture. And then, highly secure and flexible. I think that is a general need across all industries for high security, right? So. And I think on top of these, the most important factor was the ease of use. The no-code, low-code option for people with varying degree of skill sets. So those were the key criteria we were looking for in an integration and automation platform. Moving on to the next slide, please. The next slide kind of delves a little more deeper into why we chose SnapLogic, right? So we looked at a diverse set of tools and platforms. We completed multiple proof of concepts, and at the end of it, kind of zeroed in on SnapLogic for a variety of reasons. So I think it answered most of our critical questions and needs in terms of, technical and business functionalities, the where, when, what, how to incorporate our data into the customer 360 we were building. And as to where we can get the data from. So with over 500 pre-built connectors and API support, the ability to seamlessly integrate between our and automate business processes between our on-prem, cloud, and SaaS solution was extremely convenient. So that was one of the biggest drivers. And then the support for multi-format and schema on read. Very critical, with the proliferation of data sources and data formats, the ability of the platform to ingest data in its native format. And I believe this is what Gaurav in the opening remarks was talking about, handling ETL and ELT, right? So we get data in our native formats, whether it is CSV, VSAL files, XML, JSON, Arrow, you name it. The ability to process that data, even if the schema or the data structure has changed in the source system. So I believe that this is a must-have requirement of any modern data integration and automation platform. And if you think of it, how many times have we encountered failed data jobs, right? Just because the source system changed the schema structure on us. So if the real-time data is the need and demand of the day for business process automation, then we cannot afford to have any downtime with our data. And then the when of the data, when can we get the data? So with SnapLogic, the support for batch, microbatch, real-time streaming of data, that was our answer with regards to the cadence or the pace at which we are able to get to data. And to top it off, most importantly, what is it going to cost to incorporate all this data? Productivity and speed of development is critical, right? So like I said earlier, the ease of use, the low code, no code development really made it easier for people with varying skill sets to adopt the tool quickly and increase productivity and speed to market. We don't need an army of developers to bring about automation. We can do more with the same set of resources. And moving on to the next slide, this is a kind of a glimpse of our before and after architecture. Just an illustrative architecture, does not depict the entire architecture or the tools and technologies we have in place. But if you look at the diagram, so on the left-hand side of the diagram, we have our internal and external sources, data sources coming in different formats. At the top, we have our cloud-based SaaS solutions, our CRM system, our marketing system, workforce management system, our cloud infrastructure with all the accompanying services. And if you look on the right-hand side, we have our analytical data platform, Snowflake as our cloud data warehouse, cloud-based data lake, and then data science workbench with all the associated modern tools and technologies. And if you focus right in the center of the diagram, you'll see the services we were using for data integration and process automation. We had AWS Lambdas, we had Informatica IICS, we were using Glue, Snowflake, Snowpipe, to name a few, plus custom coding. So while the integrations worked, but the overhead of maintaining and supporting multiple tools, platforms, and the need of varying skill sets to work with these technologies and the time it took to deliver business outcomes really could not be overlooked. We were not moving at the pace we would like to be at. So fast forward, if we move on to the next slide. This depicts the after architecture. Again, focusing on the central part. So we are in the process of replacing all the services we had in that central box. So we have a single centralized streamlined platform that meets our end-to-end integration and automation needs, so in a fast, productive, reliable way. Moving on to the next slide, a little bit about where we are right now. So we started our SnapLogic journey just about a year ago. And we did with our usual checklist, did the proof of concept, infrastructure setup, security hardening, et cetera. We had our first production implementation in April of 2020. And fast forward 8 months, we have over 17 applications currently in progress, in flight, in various phases of either development or production cycle for 4 different business units and channels that are using SnapLogic. We have a growing community of 150 plus users, and so far we have built about 35,000 plus pipeline executions and processed about 1.2 billion documents and in year one, and I would say just in the last 8 months. And more importantly for us, the implementation of batch and real-time integrations between our CRM and marketing platform, which was critical for us, from some of our key digital transformation goals perspective. So the processes in our system, in our CRM system, can trigger and activate business processes in our marketing platform. So this has helped us achieve that. And then, of course, hydration of our data lake with all different internal and external data sources to augment and expand our customer 360 data. And moving on to the next slide, this is just a dashboard view of our monthly usage metrics, basically highlighting the number of documents we processed, pipeline executions, API calls made, number of snaps used. And it gives a nice, lay of the land of our platform at a glance. And where do we want to go from here? Well, based on what we have seen this year, we are expecting significant adoption of the platform for integration and automation in 2021. So we really have to be ready for that influx of work and initiatives. And in terms of expanding the platform capabilities, we are looking to explore and enable some of the other capabilities like streaming and big data using SnapLogic. And in conclusion, I would like to say that, the key to successful digital transformation and data-driven insights is access to the right data at the right time in an automated manner. And at the heart of this process is an integration of an automation engine that is truly intuitive, highly productive, scalable, and flexible. And just a word of advice for all the folks who are actually in the process of evaluating an iPaaS solution or platform. One size does not fit all. Just identify the whys and what's of your key challenges and what your requirements are and how you want to solve for them. My advice would be to start simple, start small, start simple. Don't over-engineer or over-architect. You don't need to. Throughout the value proposition, get some early wins, early and quick wins. And honestly, if the platform is good, good word of mouth is all you need to really expand the adoption. And with that, thank you all for joining the session today. And I will hand over the baton back to Craig. Craig, over to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jyotsna. So hopefully you have time for a couple of questions that have come in. I think you partially answered this first one. So when you're consolidating from multiple legacy integration tools, have you got any best practice or advice to deal with that and how you approached it?
That's a really good question. With legacy tools, one, it is very difficult. Working with, like I said, working with vSAN files and all is typically difficult. But what has become easier is, like I said, with SnapLogic snaps, right? You have snaps for your legacy technology, DB2, vSAN, you name it, any file format. That makes it easier. You're not spending hours and hours of coding just to integrate data with your legacy system. In a matter of, I would say, earlier on, typical integration, it would take probably maybe 2 to 3 weeks of coding in a traditional environment. That has gone down drastically to a few days, and in certain scenarios and in certain cases, to just a few minutes of integration between the tools. So I think with legacy systems, the challenge is always there.
Yeah. Okay. One other question that I think we've got time just to fit in. So from the audience, so how should we evaluate when to modernize existing architecture? Yeah. Is it the business that should be driving it? Is it the technology that should be driving it? What do you choose first?
It really depends on the organization, what is driving either, is business driving your change or is technology driving the change? For us, it has been both business and technology. And it kind of goes, they kind of go hand in hand, right? If you want to go ahead with the digital transformation and business transformation, the technology aspect of it, you cannot ignore that, right? So you have to speak to, or you have to address the technology process and the people aspect of transformation at the same time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jyotsna. That was, I think, very, very enlightening and meaningful to the people that we had join us here. If we could go on to the next slide. So I would encourage all of you that have joined us. We have lots of information going on the community website. So the community.snaplogic.com, where you can share amongst multiple users, share lots of hints and tips and tricks. Myself and many of our team and many of our customers are on there, and that interaction is very helpful. Please do take advantage of that. Remind those of you that haven't, we do our one-on-one training workshops on a regular basis. We have those, which is essentially a free training. We have those taking place pretty much on every couple of months. The February event is still open, so please do contact your CSMs, and if you have people that you'd like to get signed up for that. We are doing various snappy hours. We're doing demos and going over some different use cases. All of those are published in the SnapLogic events side of our website. And for those of you that haven't had hands-on with SnapLogic yet, do go and try us out. You can just sign up at the free trial on our website and give you access to the product and actually start using it and see the benefits that you can achieve with this platform. And with that, I would love to say thank you very much for attending, and thank you again, Jyotsna. Really appreciate your insight and sharing with us all. Thank you.
Thank you.